Hey everyone, welcome to the Ask Nicole weekly live stream where I answer questions related to tech and marketing as it relates to small business. And this week I'm answering a question that came up for me. Now, before we get started, if you like videos about marketing and technology with tips you can use, things that are explained in non-jargony terms and all of that, I do urge you, wherever you're watching this now, you can follow, like, whatever, the page. We go live every Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time to talk about this sort of thing. And if you're looking for the back catalog, wherever you're watching this now, there are back issues. But in terms of like organized ways to look at it, on YouTube, we have playlists, and on the website, on the blog portion, we have a Nicole Reacts section where you can see all of the previous episodes. So today's topic is one that's come up for me in a couple of different places, and it's this idea of warming up the algorithm. Now, I had never heard this term before, but what happened was I've been consuming a lot of online marketing guru content lately, and two of them mentioned this idea of warming up the algorithm. And I had never heard of it before. So, in case you haven't either, it's this idea that before you're going to post a piece of content, whether it's a video, like for example, let's say I was going to do it before this stream. So 10 or 15 minutes beforehand, I would go on social media. So if this was broadcasting to Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and, you know, all the places that it is, I would go on those places and I would leave a comment where I would start interacting as my channel or as my whatever business self on social media. And I was interacting beforehand. Then when I go to post something, somehow I'm supposed to get more views and interaction because I've warmed up the algorithm. Now, I'll be honest, to me, this sounded completely stupid until I was on a panel with some marketing people, and a guy on the panel with me brought up warming up the algorithm. So then I was like, okay, am I crazy? And so then I thought, okay, well, let's look into it. Like, are other people talking about this? And the answer is yes, but like only a little bit. Oh, by the way, I'll include these links in the show notes once we're done here. But so I found this Digital Marketing Institute, which talks about in their section of training the algorithm. You post your content and start replying to comments underneath it, and the more active you are, the more views you're likely to get. Okay, all right. And then this random LinkedIn person also talks about warming up the feed before you post. I'm only bringing this up so that you don't think I'm completely insane in making this up entirely. So, I mean, it's just a weird idea, right? Yeah. Like Shane said, it's like priming the pump, right? Yeah. So, we have this idea in other aspects of our life, but to me, this seemed particularly ridiculous when we talk about algorithms because there's so much that goes into a social media algorithm. It's based on, what types of content you interact with. Are there certain people or pages you interact with more? Are there certain videos you watch a larger percentage of than other videos? I mean, there's so much personalization into it that this idea that you could trick it with just doing this little thing seems really weird. um right. So it seems like, right, so at first you're like, this is ridiculous, and then as you're thinking about it, you're like, well, maybe this makes sense. So, in usual Nicole fashion, I did not want to take someone else's word for it, nor did I want to dismiss something outright if it was actually going to help me or my clients. So, we thought we would run a little experiment. So, this was our experiment. Now, granted, we could have run this longer. We can always do experiments longer. If you do this experiment, I would love to know your results. Because there's other experiments I want to do, which is why we're not going to continue running it. But we did this for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks now, we post 2 videos a week. One is this live stream, which you're watching right now. And then the other video is posted on Fridays, which is a reaction style video that we post to YouTube and the blog. So it only really goes one social media place, the Friday video. But the Thursday video is going all places that we can put it, which is this particular live stream you're watching now. So what we did is for the last 2 weeks, or actually for 2 weeks, it's not the last 2 weeks. I'll get into that in a second. We warmed up the algorithm before the post. So at 11:45, Jessica logged in to Facebook. I logged into YouTube and we interacted. So what does that look like? Well, I mean, that looks like me leaving a comment on a YouTube video like this. And in Jessica's case, she posted, something to our social media as well. She also posted other comments and liked and shared things from like the regional chambers of commerce and things like that. So just this idea of like, okay, let's warm up the algorithm and then let's see if this improves things. And so we actually warmed up the algorithm, and I'm putting the dates here because we're going to look at the dates and the stats in a second. So we warmed up the algorithm on July 28 and 29, and then August 4th and 5th, right? So Thursday, Friday, 2 weeks in a row. Now, the other thing that I tried to do is I also tried to post some similar content. So for example, I posted a reaction video to Rachel Hollis, and I've done that before. So like I have a Rachel Hollis before and have a Rachel Hollis, warmed up algorithm version, right? To see if one got more interaction or more lift than the other. But both were very popular videos on my YouTube channel. So I tried to kind of keep content similar. Obviously, I didn't want to do the same broadcast multiple weeks in a row because people would have gotten really sick of it. But yeah, we're going to look at this sort of thing. So how do we know that this works or doesn't work? Well, to me, warming up the algorithm would show up in one of a few ways, right? It could show up in all these ways or just one of these ways. But first of all, if I warmed up the algorithm and then went live like I am now, that should result in more viewers, right? Because I've warmed it up. So more people should see that my video is going right now, right? The second thing I might expect is more interactions on that particular post. So we know that most people don't watch video live, right? Most people are going to watch this video not at noon on Thursday when it comes out. So, but if I've interacted with the algorithm and that sort of boosted its visibility, maybe it would get more views in general. So throughout its lifetime of being online. And the third thing I might expect is just more visits to, my Facebook page and or YouTube channel. So for example, if we left a comment on someone's post, they might be like, their visitors might be, or their people who are also looking at that post might say, who the heck is Breaking Even Communications, and click on us and go to our page. So I'm expecting, if the warming up worked, one of these three things to have happened compared to previous videos. And the good news is that I have a lot of previous videos. So yeah, so we're going to take a look at some stats. If you don't like that sort of thing, I'm just going to not bury the lead here that warming up the algorithm does not appear to be a thing. Now keep watching if you want to see me actually prove this, but it seems like this is hearsay. And when I look at the posts that are talking about this, they all seem to be from around 2020, and I can't find actual like social media websites or social media companies talking about this, right? I'm not seeing like, I don't know, Social Media Examiner or BuzzFeed. I'm trying to think of like Sprout Social, Buffer. I'm not seeing any of these social media companies or, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I'm not seeing them talking about this. And are they not talking about it because they're trying to like, they don't want you to know this secret, or are they not talking about it because it's not a thing? I think it's because it's not a thing. All right. Like I said, so if you want to watch further, see, I just hate it when I don't know, you're at like an awards dinner and the person is giving a speech, and the whole time you're trying to figure out who won the award based on the speech thing. So you know the outcome. So now you can just kind of enjoy and pay attention to the stats if you so choose. So first off, let's look at the first Rachel Hollis video, the unwarmed up one, okay? So this video has gotten more views than anything I've ever posted on YouTube, and it's gotten me more subscribers than anything I've ever posted on YouTube. First, oh yeah, what are we looking for? Right? We're looking for live viewers, interactions, and more visitors to the channel, okay? So first off, let's take a look at the live viewers on this. Oh, one person watched this live for like a portion of things and then left. Okay. So just, I mean, I'm kind of showing you my, I'm showing you my secrets here, which is that I don't get necessarily a ton of live viewers, right? So now let's look at the overall kind of views on this video. Now, obviously the views on this video and whether there's a lot of them will depend on the views I get on other stuff, right? So the overall views on this video, right, is a lot compared to my usual stuff, but it's because I talked about Rachel Hollis, right? So 2,100 views on this video, which, as you see with the little tiny thing below it, is 2,000 more than usual. So what I thought I would do during this warm-up period was I'm going to post another Rachel Hollis video, and she perfectly timed a video about how to create content, which gave absolutely no information about how to create content. So here is the Rachel Hollis Encore video. Now, as you see, it's a newer video, so it's gotten less, like it's just been online for less of a length of time. And you still see that it got a fair bit of views, but this one was warmed up. Wait for it. 2 live viewers. Okay. Now, one of these was me because I was making sure that the feed worked. So I don't know if we can count that one, but because I didn't watch the first one. But again, so we see that the watch time, is similar, in terms of that it's higher. And we see that I've gotten some subscribers since then, but it's not like a lot different. And I also feel like if I kept this video online for 3 weeks, that we would see that this would be a similar number. So maybe I'll check that and let you know in a couple of weeks whether that is true. But like this has been online for like, I don't know, 14 days or something. And the other one's been online for like almost 3 months. So anyway, now let's look at, again, this is just the Rachel Hollis video. Let's look at another one, right? So this is a video about a less popular person, although this Russell Brunson guy is pretty ridiculous. So let's take a look at the live views. Oh, wait a minute. It says that it is combining. It's so funny because when I was pulling this, it said, hold on, just making sure I'm looking at the right tab. Interest, how many viewers watched the premiere? Okay, yep. So how many people watched the premiere? Oh, it doesn't. Are you going to show that? No? Okay. It's funny because, so it's not even showing anybody watching the premiere. So maybe nobody watched the premiere and that's why it's not showing up. Okay, but this is a much more typical video, right? Like 39 views, about the same as usual. Watch time, 5.3 minutes, about the same as usual. So, all right. That's really similar. So that one is warmed up. That is a warmed up usual video. Now let's look at an unwarmed up usual video. So this is Fraser Brooks. Again, 19 views, 1 less than usual. Watch time, 2.7 minutes, a bit less than usual. How many viewers watched the premiere? 1 person. Again, like we're seeing very similar numbers here. And these views, we would have to look at a few more videos to see, right? Like, is it just that people are less interested in Fraser Brooks as a person? Potentially, but 1.3 minutes less than the typical video. But you see my typical watch time is between 4 and 8 minutes on my videos. Now, let's look at some overall channel stats, because the other thing that could result from warming up the algorithm is people coming to the channel, right? So let's look at channel views. Now, we know that we warmed up the algorithm. I wrote this down, July 28 and 29, August. Oh, right. I wrote it down here too. Let me put it on the screen. So we should see, if I actually warmed this up correctly, we should see a little uptick on the days we warmed up the algorithm, right? So let's take a look. So there is, hold on. Here's July 28. Here's July 29. And then here is August 4th. And here is August 5th. But as you see, didn't warm up this day. Didn't warm up this day. So there are just times, it looks like on weekends, where I get more views. Kind of makes sense. Like here's a Saturday and a Sunday. Here is oh, I'm wrong. Okay, this is 28 days of views. Let's go back a little further. Let's go back 90 days. Oh, what day was this? Oh, July 4th. Yeah, didn't warm up the algorithm July 4th. But if we look at, let's see, July 29. I should have marked these. There we go. There's 93. There's 27 and 93. And then the other one was 121, and 132. Now, it's important to note too that over this time period, I gained 97 subscribers. I only have 312. So I've gained a third of my subscribers in the last 90 days. So it would make sense that I had more views in the latter part of this period than in the prior part because I just have more subscribers, right? So yeah, so channel views, not so much. And then I had one more thing pulled up here. I'm trying to remember what's here. Oh yeah, I decided to just check and see like, okay, maybe we got more returning visitors after I warmed up the algorithm because then they knew we existed and we were kind of on their radar, right? So maybe there's more returning. So let's take a look at that. Nope. I mean, no measurable difference really. Returning 3. Hold on. I'm just looking at when I warmed up. 28. Hold on. Here. 28. Returning 8. Returning 33. I think this was the Rachel Hollis one. And then August 4. Returning 33. Returning 32. But let's just pick some other days here. Returning 16, 18. So it does look like there is a little bit more returning. Like a little bit. Not saying none. So yeah. Now you might ask yourself, well, Nicole, maybe this warmed up thing. Maybe it isn't a YouTube thing. Maybe it's a Facebook thing. Don't worry, I got you. So first of all, we're going to look at overall page visits on Facebook, right? And so what I did is I went back to July 4th because I know that I got to keep the algorithm days on here. Okay. Algorithm days here. So these are the days that we primed up. So Jessica would log in and whatever. So I should see an increased amount of page visits those days, right? Like you would think. But if I hover, 1, 2, 1, 2. But as you see, I don't know what the heck I did on July 4. So on July 4, I got a spike. And on July 8, I got a spike. But those are not days that I warmed up the algorithm. Those are just spikes, right? So let's look at the individual videos. So this first one was, hold on, I'm just trying to remember which ones we warmed up. This was, yeah, okay. Yeah. So these two we warmed up. Okay, so let's take a look. So here is a warmed up video. As you see, it looks at the total watch time. It is, let's take a look. 5.3 times higher than your posts within 21 plus days of publishing. Okay. So, all right, we can say that this had more interest. And we did a broadcast about MailChimp versus SendGrid. So what we'd want to ask ourselves is, okay, are people just interested in how to compare deliverability and other performance metrics of email marketing? Or did the warming up of the algorithm help? We'd probably have to test a little further. And let's look at another one. This is 10 ways to make your website more accessible. Again, another popular topic. And okay, 1.3 times more 1 minute plus views, but general lower average view time and lower reactions. So we had 1 live viewer for this video. I know, very impressive. Let's take a look at some non-warmed up videos just for comparison. So here is a video about WordPress plugins I would marry. Now, as you see here, an unwarmed up video, look, 1.7 times higher. Now, is it the catchy title because it's WordPress plugins I would marry? I think probably. But this video looks like performance-wise is impressing Facebook much more, even though I didn't really have any live viewers for it. And another non-warmed up video, just for comparison's sake. Here is, this is a Rise productivity app that I tried out for 2 months. And I talked about whether I liked it and what I liked and didn't like about it. And what's really funny is now they're offering a free plan, including, and it's funny because it was paid only. And one of my critiques of it was that for a paid thing, it really was asking a little bit too much money. And then they made a free version a month later. I'm not going to say I made that happen, but I'm just noticing that. So as you see, you've got 1 live viewer. and yeah, a pretty unimpressive distribution summary. So yeah, these were unwarmed up videos, but as you see, this video warmed up did really well. This video warmed up did really well. But this video that was warmed up did the best of the ones I'm comparing. But what we'd have to do, like I said, to really understand if this was a thing is check other MailChimp versus SendGrid content and see if people liked it. But my point is that like if the warming up of the algorithm made any kind of measurable difference, we'd be able to see it in the stats. And I'm just not seeing it here. So yeah. So to me, like I said, based on my very small experiment, could I run it longer? Absolutely. Are there certain things I do differently now that I've run it? Yes. But it doesn't seem to be a thing. And I guess the reason that I'm not going to continue the experiment or try more is that to me, stuff like these little like tricks or whatever, where we try to outsmart the algorithm, seems kind of silly, because if you think you can outsmart like thousands of engineers at the top tech companies in the world, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think so. I think what we need to do as marketers, content creators, business owners is we need to concentrate on really great content. So, for example, me looking and saying, wow, this SendGrid thing seems really interesting, and no one's really talking about how it compares to a Constant Contact or a MailChimp that is easier to use, but might not have some of the deliverability and other tech aspects that this particular company provides. And how would we compare those? So it seemed like people were interested in that. And maybe, like I said, maybe we'll do another broadcast talking about MailChimp versus SendGrid templates and what is and isn't possible in them, that kind of thing. So that would be a good test. But to me, as marketers, business owners, whatever, we should concentrate on good content, nice hook, WordPress plugins I would marry, for example, or starting the video right away with, something that people are really interested in. If the content is really good, resharing the content so that more people can see it, because let's face it, just because you post something doesn't mean that the person is going to see it that should. If in particular you made a broadcast and think someone would be interested in it, resharing it with them specifically, hey, like we did this broadcast about, this email marketing software potential client, check it out, let us know what you think, and if you want to talk about it. And then, look at your stats like I'm doing and kind of see like, okay, well, what topics are people really engaging with? Where are people leaving comments? Where are people watching longer? That kind of thing, and trying to do more of that. And what we have to ask ourselves is it the subject matter? Is it the delivery? So maybe I'm just more fun in this video than I am in previous videos. If for some reason this gets a lot more watch time than the other ones, I don't really know. But I just think that warming up the algorithm and other little tricks like that, they might work in the short term, but they're going to either have a very small difference or they're going to go away entirely once, I guess, Facebook or YouTube or whatever figures out what we're trying to do. And these gurus who talk about it, I really just want to see their stats about where they're warming up the algorithm and how that's working for them. I genuinely don't think it's a thing. So if you run this experiment, please leave a comment below on this video or fill out the contact form on the website and tell me about it, because I am so curious what other people find out about this. But from my relatively small experiment, it doesn't seem like it's a thing. Yeah. So when you hear someone say warming up the algorithm or otherwise trying to give you little tips, yeah, thanks, Shane. Yeah, a red flag. Yeah, to me, anybody who's looking for a shortcut, yeah, I would love a shortcut to exist too. And I would love to exploit it on behalf of my clients and myself to get further in social media. But yeah, the reality is creating good content and building relationships takes time. And there's really no way around it, sadly. Or happily for me, I guess, because I like that sort of thing. So thank you so much for watching. If you think this was useful, feel free to share it with somebody. And again, if you want kind of back episodes, the YouTube channel has playlists. I think, yeah, I just haven't put them in playlists on Facebook yet. It's on my list. And also check out the blog. And and if you have any topics, super open to hearing them. We do have a couple that we're planning because we're testing out some other stuff that other people have anecdotally said in presentations like it's true. So keep an eye on the space for that. And have a great rest of your day. And I will see you next week. Take care.